Hi everyone, my name is Putu Eka Lestari. I'm from 6F class majoring English language education. In this great occasion, I'd like to present materials development that I have developed for 7th grade students in junior high school. The topic that I developed within this material is about things around us, which consists of three specific subtopics. They are related to animals, objects, and public buildings that can be found around the students. So without any further ado, let's get started. First, let's start with the standard competencies used as consideration in developing this material. So there are two standard competencies taken from syllabus of English lesson for 7th grade student. The competencies emphasize on students' understanding about social function, text structures, and language features of oral and written transactional interaction text, which involve the act of giving and asking information about names and numbers of animals, objects, and public buildings. And at the end, students are expected to be able to create a text which involve the act of giving and asking information related to the topics that has been mentioned previously. In line with these standard competencies, there are three learning objectives which are expected to be achieved by the students. The first one, students are able to identify the names and numbers of animal, objects, and public buildings around them. Second one, they have to be able to explain the information that they get from reading a text or conversation that has been provided by the teacher. And the last one, they are expected to be able to create a simple conversation text which involve the act of asking and giving information about the related topic. Now, let's proceed to the learning activities that have been designed in this learning material. So the first one is related to brainstorming. So in the beginning of the class, teacher can start the class by having brainstorming with the students. So through brainstorming, it will help students to engage during the learning process as well as raise their readiness for the lesson. In this brainstorming section, teacher will play a game entitled I Sit With My Little Eyes. So they will mention several things in the classroom by describing the characteristic or the color of the things or the shapes, and students have to guess the things that are meant by the teacher. After having brainstorming activity, the next activity is continued for reading activity. In this part, students are prepared with reading comprehension. So they are provided with a text which is related to things in the classroom, and they can read the text. And after that, they will have an exercise which they are provided with several questions, and they have to answer these questions based on the text. And the next one is about vocabulary section. In this section, students are provided with several vocabulary that they can find within the text, and all the vocabularies are provided in the word bank. So for this activity, teacher will read this vocabulary and ask students to repeat after the teacher. This activity is done in order to check students' understanding about these vocabularies. So if they don't understand about this vocabulary or they don't know about this vocabulary, teacher will give explanation about this. And also, this activity can help students to know appropriate pronunciation for each vocabulary. In this activity, students are provided with word search puzzle, which they have to find other vocabularies within this puzzle. The next one is about language features. In this section, students is provided with grammar corner, where they can learn about the grammar which are used within this material and also know about some language expressions. Especially for this topic, the grammar used within this material development is related about the use of articles, definite and indefinite article, and then they also learn about singular and plural nouns. So in this part, students are not only provided with the explanation of the articles, whether definite or indefinite article, or singular and plural nouns, but they also provided with examples so they can understand it better. And for the language expressions, students here are provided with some expressions that they can use to ask or give information about names and numbers of something. And after they learn about this language expression, they also learn about some quantifiers that might be used when they want to ask or give information about numbers of something. In this part, the quantifiers emphasized in this topic is about the use of many and much. After students have learned about grammar, then they will have grammar exercise. In this activity, students have to fill in the blank a text with by using appropriate articles. So they have to choose the appropriate article for filling in the blank this passage. And the next one is about listening activity. In this activity, students are provided with a video where they can watch and listen to the video. And they also can sing along with the teachers. And while they watch and listen to this video, they have to take notes on some vocabulary that related to public places because this video is about public places. So they have to take a note on vocabularies or the words that they can find in the video related to public places. Well, after they have the activity for the listening the video, then the next activity, they will have work in pair activity. So in this part, students have to work with their partner, and there are some scramble letters which are need to be arranged to be appropriate words. So to finish this exercise, students can discuss with their partner. And the scramble letters are related to the vocabularies about public building. For the next section is about speaking section. For speaking, students have an activity where they can have conversation with their partner. So again, they will work in pair and they have to ask their friend about things that they bring inside their bag. And also they have to ask about the name of the things and the quantity of the things. Later, after discussion, students have to write down the information that they get from their friends after the conversation in this table. So they are already provided with this table and they have to fill in this table based on the information that they get. In order to have the conversation, they can use several expressions for asking and giving information related to the names and numbers of the things, which actually these language expressions, they already learned it in the language features section previously. So by having learning the language features previously, and then they can apply the language expressions that they can use for having their conversation. And the last part within this material development is related to writing. In this writing activity, students will create a short conversation text related to asking and giving information about things. So especially in this part, the topic will related to animals. So in here, students are provided with a picture which consists of several animals farm. And what they need to do is they have to continue this conversation to be good conversation based on the picture that they can find in here. So they already provided with the example and the rest of this conversation, the students are expected to finish this. So they can use the expressions of asking and giving information about the animals that they can find within the pictures and also the quantity of the animals, the numbers of the animals. So this is the last part of the learning activities that I developed within this material. So that's all my presentation about my material development. Thank you so much.